Hello and welcome in this presentation of Buildings and Skyscrapers generator. The principle of this product is very easy because it consists in using instances of basic elements in order to create a full building which is light in the scene because it relies on instances, and to shape, to add smart props and to add shaders if necessary to the various smart props and base elements of the buildings. So everything is included in the product. Well, when you start, you have two possibilities. First, you can load one of the base structures included, okay? And then you can customize it or render it immediately, or you can customize it by shaping the base elements, okay, with morphs, and by adding smart props and by including new shaders if necessary, if you want to, okay? Otherwise, you can generate your own building with your own dimensions and your own properties. For this, you have the two building generators included here, and that I'm going to present here. And another video will be dedicated to how to customize a base structure once you have it. Okay, you have two types of generators, okay? This first one uses heavy windows, but with a lot of morphs. And this one use light windows, but with much less morphs. So it's up to you. If you have huge buildings or a lot of buildings, rather use this one. If you have smaller or reasonable size buildings, okay, or not a lot of not a lot of buildings, then you can use this one. You will have much more basic morphs, knowing that in this one you can compensate the missing morphs, if you want, by using the smart props of the product. So it's up to you. In this example, we are going to use the high resolution version, but it's the same for the low resolution, okay? So I open the script, and here the first thing we have to do is to create the ground floor. And for this, we specify its dimensions. So let's say I want 25 meters by 25 meters, for instance, building. And for the base ground, you know, the proportion is 100% of Windows 1. It means it's going to load one window and use instances of this window, but no other windows. There is only be one way to customize the base ground. That's what I'm gonna do. Here you have options, okay, allowing you to hide instances while you create the building, for instance, and to add floor, corner pillars, internal wall grid, and roof border. I recommend to let this checked because you can remove it afterwards if you don't need it. So let it checked. And this allows you to automatically frame the building you create while you create it with a camera which is added in a scene. So let's click on this to create the ground floor. Okay, and the ground floor is created. So here is a little text explaining you what you can do afterwards. All right. And here you see you can create other floors. So several possibilities. First, you want to use only Windows 1 type, okay, one type of window all along the building. In this case, you change nothing, you keep this proportion. Or you want to use other types of windows. So here, for instance, I say that on my second floor, I want to be able to use another type of customization, a different one from the ground floor. So I use another type of window. If I want to be able to use two types of customization, I would use two types of windows here, okay? But it's more efficient if you dedicate one floor to one type of customization. So the second floor, okay, will use a new window, okay, which will be the parent, the target of all the instances of the second floor, and this will be applied to the 5 next floors. So I don't want the 5 next floors. I want only the second floor to be done this way. So here I said that I want only to add 1 floor right now, okay? And I could click on create other floors, but first I want to speak to you about consolidation options. In consolidation, here it's automatically made every 5 floors. What is consolidation? If you create individual instances of each target window you add. But at the end, if the building is big, you will have a lot of instances in the scene. And this will slow down the viewport manipulations because, not because this is heavy, but because there is a lot of nodes, a lot of nodes in the scene. So for this, you are going to group all the instances in instance groups, meaning that you can have hundreds of instances, but only one replaced by only one instance group. Here, there is an automatic consolidation every 5 floors. What I generally do, which is more efficient, is to say never, okay? And at the end, I will consolidate everything, okay? I don't do it right now. I will do this at the end. Don't do it during the creation process. Do it at the end, or you can even do it later on in the scene tab here, using the consolidate script. Okay, the thing is the idea is to have the minimum number of nodes in the scene. Okay, let's go. So I'm going to create my second floor with the windows of type 2, which means a second type of customization. Okay, and I'm going to click on create other floors. Then same thing, I want, I don't know, the 4 next floors to be the same one, but with a new type of available customization, okay? So I say here 4 floors, here a new type of window, and I add other floors, all right? And I'm going to finish, for instance, by the last floor of the building, and I want a new type of window too, okay? And I want only the last floor to be this one, and I click on create the floors. Okay, and here I have 4 types of windows, which will be able to customize differently. For instance, I'm gonna take select none to see the difference, okay? Here, I'm going to activate morph. You see it on the building, okay? This is a bottom wall that I change, okay? Now, I'm gonna change the windows too, okay? And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna change the height of the top wall, for instance, so that it's just for you to see where it is located. Okay, so this would be the first floor. I mean, the second floor created, but it's the first floor of the building. And I'm gonna take the Windows 3, okay? And up, I change the width. Maybe this is too much. Okay, and for the last floor, I'm gonna, no, not this one, add a wall down. It's just an example to show you how you can basically customize it already in shape or so on in directly in the interface. But in practice, it's better to do it outside of the interface. It's more easy and efficient. Here at this stage in the interface, for instance, you can't add smart props. Okay, here you can change the thickness of the floors and the ceiling. You don't see a lot of the difference. You can change the thickness of the internal walls. You can change the thickness of the roof border, but it's very limited. The limits are bigger when you're outside of the interface. You can, okay, change a bit more the roof border, okay, and you can change the thickness of the corner pillars too, okay, to adjust a bit better to your building. Okay, so this was an example of how to shape it while you are in the interface. Okay, you can at any time rotate around the building. Okay, zoom in and zoom out. Okay, and for instance, hide instances. So that's interesting to hide instances because here we have the entrance node. Here, the window, which is the target of all the instances of the the ground floor. Here, the windows, which is the target of all the instances of the first floor. Okay, you add above the ground floor. Here, the window, which is the target of all the instances of all these floors. And here, the window, which is the target of all the instances of the last floor. Very easy, as you see. Okay, let's show instances back, okay? And what I'm gonna do here is to, because I'm gonna leave the creation process, is to consolidate every remaining instances. So, Windows instances, internal world grid instances, floors and ceiling instances. Okay, so this is down, and I'm going to delete the empty grid nodes. Oh no, I'm not going to do this now because I want to show you where they are in the scene. But there are empty group nodes left, which can allow you to frame specific floors on the building. So I can close this interface. Okay. And here in the scene tab, you see the building entrance here, okay, with the roof border, the floor and ceiling with the instance group, okay, which shows one floor at each level. Let's hide this. Okay, this is the grid of floors and ceiling, okay, and you also have two grids of internal walls, all right. Okay, and let's show the windows again. Okay, and you have here empty nodes, okay, which initially contained the individual instances. After you make a consolidation, those instances and instance groups are parented to their respective targets. All right. This is the target of all the first floor, and if you show the instance group, you see all these elements. Meaning that if you morph, add smart prop, or do whatever to this target, the same will be applied to all the instances. Well, that's all for this part. The aim was only to show you how those two generators work, okay? And in order to create your own base structures, I mean, here I stopped at after a few floors. I could have added as many floors as I wanted, okay? The sky is the limit, like many people say. I just had to click and click and click again the button to add floors, okay? For this is not really customized. The shapes that I showed you are mainly here to show you, to help you in identifying the various areas, okay? But this could be maybe fine for a glass and metal building, but if you want a more customized building, I propose you to watch the other video. Thank you for your attention. If you have any question, please use DAS forums and the thread dedicated on this project in the commercial thread. Thank you.